Now, the Subway Final Word.
Welcome back. We're live tonight, and the final word now on the Steelers season. Any take you want to give, 30 seconds each approximately. Mark Madden's up first.
I have more respect and admiration for Troy Polamalu than any athlete I've ever worked with. Troy, if you're watching, I tell you not to retire. Not because you're not good enough. You're plenty good enough. You could play for a couple more years. I'm telling you to retire because you don't deserve to be in a locker room and on the field with a bunch of immature little boys who go to pieces at the worst time possible. All those penalties tonight, all that whining, very un-Steeler-like, and I have a hunch the coach ain't never going to straighten it out. So, Troy, for your peace of mind, please retire. You've done enough, and this is one group you can't straighten out. And Jason Worlds, you should quit because you stink. $10 million don't buy as much as it used to.
All right, Kevin Gorman.
Well, I want to echo what Mark said about Troy being one of the best athletes to deal with in this town. Not necessarily so much about retiring, but if Troy does retire, if Ike Taylor and Brett Kiesel and James Harrison and maybe even Heath Miller have played their last games in a Steelers uniform, I wonder what the Steelers are going to be like without them. I wonder where the leadership and maybe even more importantly, the professional decorum those players brought to the locker room, that they brought to the practice field, that they brought to the playing surface. I think that's something that the Steelers are really missing. They have not won a playoff game in 4 years and not won a Super Bowl even longer. The Steelers not only need to replace those players, they need to replace their leadership and professionalism.
Stag,
I was kind of tough on Mike Tomlin at the beginning of the year. I said he should be on the hot seat. If he had had a non-winning season this year, it would have been the first time the Steelers have had 3 of those in a row since 1971. But if it makes you feel any better, and it probably doesn't, last month we had the 42nd anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. In the 40 years prior to the Immaculate Reception, the Steelers never had 3 winning seasons in a row. In the 42 years since, they've never had 3 losing seasons in a row. Pretty good.
All right, now the final word from social media. It's an optimistic one. Steelers had a better year than most predicted, and offense looks promising for years to come. Thanks for that. The end of the season is always disappointing, to be sure, especially tough to swallow happening to the Baltimore Ravens. But this team was 3-3. Virtually nobody expected them to turn things around enough to get an 11-5 finish in the AFC North title. There's a lot of work to be done, especially on defense, and there will be departures and new arrivals next season. But the foundation on offense is there, high-powered group. And the question is, can they afford Ben and Bell for the long-term future? They better if they want to keep contending in the AFC North for the Super Bowl. That's the final word on the Subway Final Word. I'm Albie Oxenrider for Mark and John and Kevin. Thanks for joining us late tonight. See you next time.